I wanted to talk a little bit about a really cool concept that's really come up, since the New Age movement at least, and it's this idea of being heart-centered. And sometimes, and certainly in the circles I'm in, when someone says, "Oh, that person's not heart-centered," it's all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, they're not a very nice person. They're not, but really, what if heart-centered is more than just being nice to other people? What if heart-centered is actually the manifesting principle within our bodies? There's some great research out right now about that our body, most of our body is made up of these intelligent elements. The chakras are intelligences. Each organ, everything in our body has neurons in it. The same neurons that create what we call thinking in our brain are in our gut, a huge amount in our gut, in each of our energy centers in the heart. And each energy center has around 100 billion neurons in it. So the brain has 100 billion neurons, the heart, the throat, the stomach, the gut, all of these elements of our body have these neurons. The problem is that the only neurons that we let make decisions for us are the brain. And the brain, crazy and as it is, the brain isn't actually able to feel anything. Right? I mean, it's like, they say if you could open up your head and stick a spoon in there, the brain wouldn't even notice. So the brain doesn't feel anything, and its job is to assess danger and to figure out, to make sure we get to places on time, buy the groceries, things like that. But most importantly, the brain's job is to protect us and to keep us safe. And it's not a feeling mechanism. And so when people say you're not very heart-centered, what they're really saying is that you're brain-centered. And you use those neurons, which are really designed for protection, more than you use your heart. Now, what's interesting about the heart is that the heart is a feeling center. And all of the other centers are feeling centers. And so being heart-centered means that the heart, which is the biggest brain, the biggest set of neurons other than up here, this brain never listens to any of these other brains. So we have, what do we have? We have 100 billion neurons here, but 900 billion neurons in the rest of our body, all of them consciously connected because they feel to reality. And the heart is the brain and the focus of that energy. And so when we're actually heart-centered, when someone's actually heart-centered, they're people that manifest better. They're people that create a happy life because they are being drawn and pulled and called to their life rather than using this tiny little piece of us that learned how to self-reflect and think we know who we are to decide who we're going to become in the future. Whereas right here in the heart, we know who we are right now. We know how much we can love. And we know that love and connection and purpose are, just the purpose of being deeper, having more intimacy, more connection, more compassion, being with others. 7.5 billion people on the planet. We're not here to be by ourselves. So the heart is actually the real brain, and our neuroscientists and everybody are trying to find the brain up here, but there really isn't one. This is more of like an automatic responsive unit that is like a last resort. When all of this stuff can't figure out what to do because there's some sort of crisis going on, then this brain actually is very useful and protects you and all that. But the real brain is here. And if you think about it, those neurons all create an electromagnetic field, right? So when you have 900 billion neurons all firing together and coming through the heart, you have an ability to create an electromagnetic field, which is both a magnet and a message. Oh, so you're trying to create the life of your dreams, but you're doing it from here. But this is only 1/10 of what you have as far as electromagnetic energy and capacity. Wow. So you're using the smallest part of you to try to do the biggest thing in your life. But the heart is connected to all of the other centers. It actually knows how they think. It speaks their language. None of them speak English. Only this. This is the only one that has like the rigid sort of words mean this. life means this lower energy field, all of the energies in your body and your consciousness and your soul, all of these things are being felt by the heart, and the heart pulls that together. And the heart, when you are heart centered, you have almost all of your creative force pulling toward your purpose, because you'll feel your purpose. You won't have to think it. You won't have to say, well, I think my purpose is this, and then be wrong. You'll know your purpose because you're being called to it at all times. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about being heart-centered. Being heart-centered is the essential tool of a master, of a person who really manifests, really transforms the world. They have to be heart-centered. And even the heart can love the brain. The brain doesn't love the heart. The brain doesn't love anything other than the brain. The brain's the brain. Got this. And it isolates itself. And that's why we all live after year after year after year. We get more and more and more isolated.